Today's video is all about this glowy, bronzy look. This look is for the Niall Horan concert that I am going to tonight. So this look is really easy, super, I'm not gonna say quick because it is a beat face, but it is a glam, bronzy summer look. It's perfect for a wedding, a party. Make sure to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe. This is the first video on my channel and I'm really excited to be sharing it with you. Make sure to click on that notification bell so you never miss a video on this channel, because who would want that? So let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start with my brows. I'm going to use the Brow Stylist Definer by L'Oreal Paris in dark brunette, which is the darkest color they have. So I'm going to start by using this little spoolie brush to brush up my brows into the shape that I want them in. And I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. I try to keep my eyebrows fairly natural. I don't really like to go for a huge arch just because I have a straight brow and I don't really want to fight the shape of my brow. And I'm just going to keep going until I get the desired darkness that I want for the brow. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other one now. It's all about building. Like, I think that's a huge step in makeup, is to make sure that you build, whether it's coverage for foundation or concealer or building blush, pigment. I just think that it's all about building, even if it's filling in your eyebrows. Now I am going to go in and prime my eyes. So I'm just going to use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dot 2 little dots in my eyes. And I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and I'm just gonna press that in. And I'm dragging it up underneath my brows as well to cover any little sparse hairs underneath. So I feel like I need a tiny bit more on my left eye, just a little bit to cover the veins. I think the right eye is pretty good. I'm not a huge primer person. I think it's the primers that I've bought in the past that haven't impressed me, but I'm definitely still open to primers. I don't think that you need to go buy a separate primer for eyeshadow. I think honestly concealer works. Just get concealer and a beauty blender and you're good. We keep it simple. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and start with eyeshadow. I think I'm going to take the Tartlette Tarte palette first, the matte palette, so it just looks like that. And I'm going to take my Urban Decay double-sided eyeshadow brush. I'm going to start by going in with Force of Nature, pat it on my lid. And I'm just going to use this as a base color. And again, just building the coverage of the pigment. So next, I'm going to go in with Wanderer. It's a really pretty tan color. I'm going to use it in my crease. So I use the brush to find the indentation. I just go ahead and swipe the brush along that indentation in my eye. And the reason why I do eyeshadow first is simply because I do tend to get a lot of fallout. It may just be the eyeshadows that I use. Because if I do foundation first, then I feel like I'm gonna have eyeshadow that is fallen out onto my cheeks, and I just feel like that's harder to clean up. I'm gonna go ahead again, second round, in with the same color, Wanderer, in the palette. I'm going to go ahead and use the blending brush on this side and blend that out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and use a few colors from the Vice palette by Urban Decay. It's a beat up palette. It's been well loved. I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Lucky, and I'm just going to go and lightly pat that on my lid. So I'm just going to lightly pat that. It also gives me the ability to blend it a little easier if I need to. I'm even going to go as far as to drag it a little bit into the inner corner of my eye, just because I'm going to add a lighter color and I want that gradient effect to be fluid. I'd rather layer on top than stop right here and then put another color, because I feel like that's too harsh. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye now. Doing the same thing, lightly patting a small amount and then gradually placing more. Now I am going to go in with a NYX single eyeshadow in Day Club. This one I go a little heavy-handed with because it's the pigment isn't the best. So I'm just going to put it on the inner third of my eye to kind of use as a base highlight. So I'm really digging into this one to make sure that I get the amount of product that I need. Just patting a little bit further up lightly with whatever product is left on the brush so that I make sure that the gradient is smooth. I am going to go again into the Vice palette and take the shade Bobby Dazzle. So I'm going to just lightly tap this into the inner corner of my eye to have a really bright highlight. I'm also going to take from the Vice palette the color Truth, and I'm going to use it as my brow highlight. I do like to use a little bit of shimmer, so I'm going to use Bobby Dazzle as well, but only on the outer where the arch is out. So from this section of my eyebrow, just because I don't like to bring the shimmer all the way through. And I just think that's where the light would naturally hit you. So that's where you want the reflection. But here, I just want it to clean up the brow and also make sure the eyeshadow doesn't go any higher than I want it to. Now I'm going to take Bobby Dazzle and just lightly place it here. But that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner off camera. As soon as I am done, I'll come back and we'll continue with the look. After much anger, much frustration, and a lot of glue in my eyes, I have eyelashes on. I'm not perfect at putting on eyelashes. I swear that, like, you can see imperfections in that lashes that I put on. So now I am going to go in with foundation. I am going to use the Maybelline Fit Me in the color 310. I don't know how much is actually left in here. I'm just gonna like, she died. Look, another one appeared. So I'm going to start off with the foundation brush. I'm going to take a little bit on my brush and just quickly buff it in, because honestly the most of the work is going to be done by my beauty blender. Putting a little bit more where I'm really red on my cheeks. And I know this is not even right now. It's not blended out well right now. It's not what we're going for. We're going for application. So I'm going to take my damp beauty blender again, and I'm just going to start pressing the product into my skin. The beauty blender gives it a lot more of a natural look, so we're going to go with that. It's going to absorb excess product. And this foundation works really well. It keeps me matte for a while. Like, I'm not going to say all day, but for a while. I'm going to go in with concealer, my Fit Me concealer, and I'm just going to put it right here under my eyes in a little bit of a V shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. And put it around my nose. I'm going to put it on the sides of my mouth. I'm gonna spot treat a little bit here, so just like, this is really attractive. Over some acne scars right here, also right here. See, I do a lot of work with concealer. Again, spot treating. The beauty blender is gonna pick a lot of this up, so please don't think I'm just gonna blend it in with my hand. And I'm just gonna start blending from the bottom to up. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend under my eyes, trying not to ruin the look. I'm going to bake just a little bit. So I'm going to take my Airspun loose face powder, and take a little bit of the powder and drag that under my eyes, tapping it also. I think baking really helps set it, and then I get especially oily on my cheeks, so I think this also helps. I drag it down a little further. I'm gonna put a little bit on my nose. And baking is not about looking pretty at this point. Like, the powder is going to come off, so you don't have to make it super neat. So I'm gonna leave this on for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll dust the powder off. Okay, so it's been a few minutes and I have the powder still on my face, so I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush. I don't exactly know what brand this is, but it's huge and it's super soft. And I'm going to knock the powder off my face, so. I'm going to take the Bare Minerals Matte Powder Foundation. So yes, it's a little scary to layer two foundations on top of each other, but I'm going to go in with a really light hand, and I'm going to take my Urban Decay foundation brush. I'm going to give it a swirl, and then press this into my cheek area, just to make sure that I get the color back on my face that I need, because the powder made it very white. And also just to give it a second go. I'm also gonna pat it into my nose a little bit. I'm gonna take whatever's left on the brush, just wipe that on my forehead. Next, we're gonna move on to bronzer, my favorite part. Well, one of my favorite parts. And I'm going to take this side of a two-sided Urban Decay brush and take it on my jawline, run it all across. I like this bronzer. I just think that building it is hard. It's very sheer. Then I'm gonna take a little bit more bronzer and put it right here. It just creates that little ball shape that I want for my highlight. I'm actually gonna go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer too, just on my cheekbones, just because I want a little bit more of a dark color for this look. It's a very pigmented bronzer, which really surprises me because it's a drugstore bronzer. Just carrying that color quickly through, not adding any more to the brush, making sure my colors are consistent, and I'm going to move on to blush. I think I am going to go into, what is this? Naked Urban Decay Flushed Palette. I already used the bronzer and the highlighter in this palette. I loved this palette. I'm very soft with blush. I don't like to put too much blush. I think it makes me look red, and I already tried to cancel out all that redness with concealer, so I just wanted to add a nice flush tone. So I'm just going to literally take 2 swipes. I'm going to smile a little bit, place it on the apples of my cheeks, and then work it up to meet my bronzer. You don't need a lot of blush. I think that it's very easy to overdo blush. Now I'm gonna go in with highlighter. I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Precious Petal. Love this highlighter. It is so good for being such a cheap highlighter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little bit on my highlighting brush, and then first I like to dab it into my skin, because dabbing it actually helps it stay longer, because you're pressing it in, a touch on the ball of my nose where it's already naturally highlighting itself, a little bit on my chin, because if you put too much it could look a little oily, and then I like a Cupid's bow highlight. Alright, so I am going to go pick an outfit. I will come back, we'll do lips, and we'll set. So we're going to finish up with lips. I'm going to start with my Smore Waterproof Gel Lip Liner. So I'm going to line my lips. I don't really overdraw because I already kind of naturally have like fuller lips. So I just follow the shape. Okay, so now I'm going to lightly fill them in. Then I'm going to go in with my Milani lipstick in the shade Honey Rose. I'm going to go over the lip liner with this. I'm gonna run my finger along the bottom, make sure I didn't get too much there. I'm going to blot with a napkin. Just get whatever's excess. I think I'm going to add just a little bit of gloss. This is the Naked Gloss by Urban Decay in Walk of Shame. And then lastly is we are going to set my makeup with the Art Naturals Makeup Setting Spray, Pure and Natural, Long Lasting Matte Finish. So I'm going to go ahead, shake it up a little bit, and then spray myself. That was a lot. I just want to make sure my makeup lasts all night. So this is the final look. I'm so glad that you guys watched this video. Thank you for watching till the end. If you like this look, please like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Comment down below any ideas you have, and also comment down below how big of a Niall Horan fan you are. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!